Making thousands of solar panels for a farm of this scale requires an immense volume of industrial silver to capture and move electricity. That industrial demand reaches all the way down to your pocket. Inside this smartphone, silver is woven into the internal circuitry to ensure the device runs efficiently. All the silver in these devices flows through a global network that functions like a giant lending library, with physical metal moving across borders to reach the factories that need it. Modern technology depends entirely on this invisible lending network functioning without interruption. The center of this network is a fund known as SLV. It is an exchange-traded fund, or ETF, which means it's a way for people to invest in silver without keeping bars in their own homes. Instead, the fund holds massive amounts of physical silver in heavy vaults beneath the streets of London. When industrial users need to borrow silver from this vault for a short time, they pay a rental fee called the Silver Lease Rate. Under normal conditions, supply and demand dictate the price. When large shipments leave the London vaults to head overseas, the remaining supply shrinks and borrowing that silver gets more expensive. These two metrics usually move in sync, balancing the market as global demand shifts. This predictable relationship between vault levels and rental fees provides a clear look at the health of the entire silver market. India is one of the world's most aggressive buyers of silver, often acting as the library's biggest regular borrower. In mid-May 2026, the Indian government significantly altered its trade policy by raising the tax on silver imports from 6% to 15%. At the same time, they mandated that only specific government-approved banks and companies could legally bring high-purity silver into the country. These new hurdles caused an abrupt pause in India's massive shopping spree, and the physical flow of silver out of London vaults stopped. The shift in one nation's tax policy paralyzed a physical supply chain thousands of miles away. Because exports stalled, silver piled up in London's SLV vaults, pushing holdings toward 407 million ounces. Paradoxically, even as vaults filled, the rental fee for borrowing metal spiked unusually high. In May 2026, the historic link broke down, with both metrics rising together. This was a temporary and messy bottleneck caused by the market trying to navigate the sudden shift in international trade rules. Large financial markets are vulnerable to these logic-defying glitches when major countries change the rules of the game overnight. By the end of May 2026, the initial shock of the new Indian tax began to fade. Buyers adjusted to the new trade framework, and the artificial logjam at the vaults cleared. The historic connection returned, and the vault volumes and rental fees fell back into their normal, predictable dance. While national regulations cause severe short-term shocks, the global market for commodities is highly efficient and eventually corrects itself. Financial charts for commodities represent heavy physical metals moving on cargo ships and planes. Because India's trade barriers suppressed imports for a time, underlying demand remains high and could surge as those restrictions eventually ease. Consider whether these persistent supply chain pressures make physical silver a compelling long-term investment for your portfolio. Tracking global trade rules and physical vault data provides the clearest view of how these markets actually work. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to keep following the flow of the world's most important metals.